So Anne, I'm really sad that I never got to meet Annette because she just sounds absolutely amazing. I would love to have known her. But you also knew her well and you spent all the time with her, and I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about your first impressions when you first met her.
Actually, I met her by chance. I was invited to a little documentary film festival in the south of France, and she was in the audience, and she said there was this very old and frail and small and hunched old woman standing up and starting to talk, and I was immediately caught by her appearance and by her way of talking. She was in her 90s, she was 94 at that time, and she had this very vivid way of talking and gesticulating, and she said that she was in the Resistance when she was a young woman, nearly a girl, and I was so fascinated at the same time about what she told me, what she said, and also the kind of impression she made on me was very strong, and it was like a little bit like a coup de foudre. Like I fell in love with her, if you can, if you can say this for kind of friendship. We developed later on.
Wow. And as you got to know her better, did those impressions change? I mean, what parts of her character did you get to know better?
It didn't change so much. In a way, when I knew her better, there was something really impressive for me and that I liked very much. That was, first of all, the way she would behave with everybody in the same way. She wouldn't, for example, talk to some important person with more respect than with so-called modest people also. And also that she was in complete, her behavior and her thinking was in complete harmony. It was because I don't know, I know some left-wing intellectuals who would always talk about social justice and these things, but in real life they wouldn't be so in harmony with what they pretend to think. And she really did, and she would, if there was someone lying on the street, she would go and see if she could help, or if there was someone who need a place to sleep. He or she would she would take him home and offer him a place to sleep, and a lot of examples of that kind.
Wow, what an incredible person! And as you had your meetings and she told you her story, did you make decisions together about which episodes to include and which to exclude, or did she leave that to you?
She left that completely to me, and that's also something I like very much about her. She trusted me so immediately. Well, she read one of my books in French, and then she decided that I could do it the way I wanted to do, and so she just was a little bit skeptical when I told her that I'm going to write an epic, and that she was going to be the heroine of this epic, like Ulysses or someone like that. So she looked at me and she was a little bit frightened, but she didn't say no, you shouldn't. she let me do what I wanted to do. And I like that a lot, because it would have been a problem if she had told me all the time, oh no, please don't put this and do it this way. And so she was really great.
So trusting her instincts, this was obviously a big part of Annette's personality then, you know, this putting her faith in what she believed in quite quickly. Do you think she ever regretted putting trust in certain things or people?
I know she regretted trusting one person, the person who the person who was responsible for the betrayal of herself and the Algerian leader responsible for the south of France, when they were arrested together in 1959, and this person, she didn't trust him entirely. She thought that he might be a kind of agent, not an agent, but
a secret agent, you could say, or a double agent.
A double agent or someone like that, not sincere in his commitment with the Liberation Front. But she had to trust him in a way, but she regretted, of course, because the result was that they got arrested and she was sentenced to 10 years prison.
And then, obviously, the incredible story unfolds of her dramatic escape, and then escaping to Switzerland, and then to Tunisia, and then to Algeria. So it's now 60 years since Algeria achieved independence from France. Did she have any comments to make about the intervening 60 years? Because she died very recently, didn't she? So she saw those 60 years. Did she talk about that to you at all?
Yeah, we talked about the evolution of Algeria since the independence, of course, and because it was absolutely tragical the way this country went since the independence, and she followed very closely, and she still had friends in Algeria when there were these demonstrations on Fridays, every Friday before COVID, and she got informed by her friends about the way things were going in Algeria, and she was very curious about it, and she was very much expecting a change, of course, because in this fight she sacrificed in a way her family life and her children. So it was very important for her, and she was very interested on what was going on in Algeria.